Hello friends, welcome to Sherpa Properties. Friends, when you have dinner in a restaurant or you book a cab or you buy a new car, you are required to pay some taxes to the government. Now depending on what type of product or the service that you will take, you may be required to pay different types of taxes. Similarly, if you plan to buy a home, you are also required to pay taxes to the government. So in this video, let us deep dive into different types of taxes that you may be required to pay to the government when you buy or sell a property. According to the Maharashtra Property Act, the state government is authorized to levy taxes on the property transaction across the state. If you buy a flat in Maharashtra, you are required to pay stamp duty and registration charges, and if the property is under construction, you may also be required to pay GST. Stamp duty and registration charges. Stamp duty and registration charges are used to establish the ownership to a property, and it acts as an evidence against the sale or purchase of the property. If you do not pay the stamp duty and registration charges at the time of buying a property, then the property will not be registered in your name. Stamp duty on a property is calculated in accordance with the circle rate determined by the government. If you are not aware of this concept of circle rate, please watch my previous video in which I have simplified the concept of circle rate. Let us understand this with an example. Imagine if you are buying a flat and the agreement value of that flat is 70 lakh rupees, and according to the circle rate, the value of that property is 60 lakh rupees. In that case, you are required to pay the stamp duty on the agreement value, that is 70 lakh rupees. On the other hand, if we consider the agreement value of that property is 50 lakh and according to circle rate it is 60 lakh rupees, then you are required to pay the stamp duty on the 60 lakh rupees, which is the circle rate. So whichever is higher between the agreement value and the circle rate, you are required to pay the stamp duty on the higher value. Now the amount of stamp duty that you are required to pay is not the same across the state for everybody. Depending on various factors, the stamp duty can be less or more for different people. There are various factors which are affecting the stamp duty amount. Now the first one is the age of the home buyer. If the home buyer is a senior citizen, then some of the state governments will provide concession to the senior citizens. Second factor is the gender of the home buyer. If there is a female home buyer, then again some of the state governments are offering concession to the female home buyers. Third factor is the age of the property. If you are buying a very old property, in that case also you may be required to pay less stamp duty. Lastly, if the property is located in metro cities, say in Maharashtra, if it is located in Mumbai, Pune or Nagpur, in that case, the home buyer will be required to pay an additional 1% stamp duty in the form of metro cess. Now this amount is utilized in order to provide infrastructure facilities like the metro facility or flyovers, etc. Now these are the factors which will be affecting the stamp duty amount that you will pay on the flat that you are going to buy. Generally, if you are buying a flat in Pune, you are required to pay 7% stamp duty. Depending on the factors that I did mention, you may get some concession. Apart from stamp duty, you are required to pay the registration charges. Now registration charges will be 1% of your agreement value or 30,000, whichever is lower. Now let's say if you are buying a flat whose agreement value is 50 lakh rupees, then 1% of 50 lakh will be 50,000 rupees, but still you will be required to pay 30,000 rupees because either it is 1% or 30,000, whichever is lesser. On the other hand, if there is a property whose agreement value is 25 lakh rupees, then 1% of 25 lakh is 25,000. 25,000 is less than 30,000. So in that case, the home buyer will have to pay 25,000 for the registration charges. Lastly, if you are buying an under construction property, you will be required to pay GST on it. In Pune, the GST on the under construction property is 5%. If your property falls under affordable housing category, that is, if the agreement value of that property is less than 45 lakh rupees and the size of that property is less than 60 square meter in metro cities, in that case you will be required to pay 1% GST on that property. I hope I have simplified the taxes and charges we are required to pay at the time of buying a home. If you like this video, please hit the like button and share this video with your friends who are looking to buy a home. Stay tuned for more. Till then, take care and goodbye.